Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Running the Bases podcast. This is season 2, episode 4. Such an exciting episode lies ahead because this is the very first episode since the beginning of the baseball season. Last week, we were here just a week ago talking about, man, we are one podcast away from opening day, and we have had opening day. We've had opening week come and go. And boy, has it been an interesting week. But before we get into this podcast today, I want to go a little bit impromptu. I want to hear what you guys think about the beginning of the season. What are your thoughts on? I'll go first just so you guys can kind of collect your thoughts a little bit. But for me, this has been the season started off very weird. It's been hard for me because I've been working, haven't really been able to watch the games. However, it doesn't change the fact that I have been loving this season so far. I mean, it's been exciting to see baseball back. I mean, it's just got better and better by the day. I've been a little disconcerted with some of the crowd noises that they've been pumping in because some stadiums have done it better than others. But honestly, people are talking about fan cutouts and stuff, and I mean, I love them. I think that it brings an extra life to the game. If a ball's hit to them, it smacks the cardboard cutout, and it just makes for a funny moment. So I think that the baseball season is here. It's upon us, and I'm so excited. We'll go in order of how we're lining up on the screen. We'll go Nick, Marco, and Ryan. But it's baseball's back, and it's great to be back.
Saving the best for last.
Sorry, you're going last.
Oh my god.
Saving the best for last.
Best first. I don't know. All right. Anyway, the season's been awesome, bro. Like, I just feel like since this is the only sport that's like having a season right now, it's still like baseball. Like, let's be honest. Before the season, baseball was kind of losing its edge with like competing with all the other sports. But right now, it's the only sport in season right now. I know basketball starts tomorrow, which I'm excited for. But baseball is in full swing right now. All 60 games matter. Like, since I saw this thing, since the Dodgers split with the Giants, that's the equivalent of them going on a 5-game losing streak in a regular season. Like every game is so crucial, so important. Since the top 2 teams from each division automatically go to the playoffs, it's a dead-on heat race from here on out, and I'm just excited that baseball's back. And the fans, it's a little different, but like I think they're doing a good job with the crowd noise, and I'm excited to see the rest of the games play out.
In my case, I'm really happy baseball is back. Obviously, like many of us here, but we did have a little bit of a scare with the Marlins of what happened in their situation. That was pretty darn scary. But the fact that it's finally back and it's the reigning supreme sport this summer, like it is every single summer, because in the regular normal world, there wouldn't be any more NBA finals, no more football. Well, football will be starting up their training camp, but all summer long it's baseball, and that's the good thing about this sport, that it's a sport that we could see almost year round in a normal world, almost year round. But the fact that it's back, and obviously it's a little bit weirder and strange with no fans. But like how were you saying, Michael, I really dig the cutouts, because it's better to have cutouts than having nothing in the seats, which makes it really awkward. And I just think those cutouts are really good. Some organizations there are selling the cutouts for charitable causes, to have their presence in the stadium at the same time, help organizations give back to the community, or just help out with COVID relief, stuff like that. So that's a benefit of having those cutouts. So they're not like just flat outs just put there, you know what I mean? Pun intended. So I think it's a great cause for them to have it, and it gives people some sort of normalcy feeling at baseball, at when they watch baseball games on TV. So I'm a big fan of them, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy that baseball's finally back.
Yeah, you guys really hit on the head. I think the cardboard cutouts are nice to have. I think it still brings that feeling, because when I look at it with the naked eye, not really think about it, I'm like, oh, that's you kind of have that sense of fans are there, but they're really not. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have a tiny sense. I love what the Padres are doing with it. Like, they're doing different themes throughout the year. The first opening weekend, it was teams, family members, and friends. And then they're going to do armed services one. They're going to do season ticket members. They're going to do different themes with them. So I really like that. I'm just happy baseball's back. Like we had talked about earlier, we had been so worried that baseball might not even come back and that there wouldn't be a 2020 season. But it's just exciting to have baseball back, and yet we still have the competitiveness because nobody's truly out of it yet.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time since like 1959, there was not a 3-0 team or an 0-3 team.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I'm loving it. So I'm just happy baseball's back.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat that I didn't know about. But yeah, just been an exciting season. We'll obviously go over standings a little bit later. We've got a lot to cover. Excuse me, here in this video. This is going to be a really big podcast for us. First one of the 2020 baseball season. I'm excited. The first, I mean, yes, season 2's been going on, but this is the first real big podcast of this season. So I'm excited for it. We're going to start it off with some news here. I'm just going to kind of read these off. If you've got anything to obviously to talk about or to add in, you can obviously add that in. I'll open up the floor after each one. But the first one we're going to start off with is the Toronto Blue Jays moving on to Buffalo, New York. They finally made their decision. We spoke last week about all the indecision that the Buffalo, now the new Buffalo team will be having. But the Blue Jays were, I mean, so many confusing things were happening. Couldn't play in Toronto, couldn't play in Pittsburgh. They were a homeless team for a little while, and now they're finally on to Buffalo. They've gotten it set in, and they're going to be starting games up there, I believe, this weekend.
Yeah, it's good that obviously Buffalo finally has a home. Like I said in the previous podcast, it's basically what was destined to happen. Obviously, with all like so much COVID concerns, and now with the Marlins, what happened over there, no major league stadium's going to let them play in their major league stadium like any organization. So it was pretty a no-brainer, well, in my opinion, my books, that they were gonna go to Buffalo and just play at their AAA affiliate stadium, and like still no fans, so it doesn't hurt them that much. If they had fans and like actual members in here, then yes, it would have been a different story. But it was destined to happen. It was destined to happen.
Yeah, I agree with Marco on this one. I think it's that when you were looking at the whole situation, the safest place to go was Buffalo, because I know they could have gone to Camden Yards, but at the same time, there could have been a COVID outbreak of the Orioles that could have affected the Blue Jays, so they had to be very careful about it. I think this is the safest way for them with the COVID-19 pandemic, and I think that it just makes the whole system flow better, because you would have issues with locker rooms and how all that would work. So I think that just makes it safer and smoother for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very unique season, seeing a team playing in a minor league stadium. Obviously, there's a lot going on that we're going to be seeing this season that is new, and it starts really right there with the Toronto Blue Jays. The first major change, seeing how many home runs are going to be hit in a minor league stadium, how it's going to impact all around. I mean, we don't really have to worry about fans and how many fans are in the stadium, because obviously there would be a lot less when you saw a major league stadium compared to minor league. But still, these are issues that we have to worry about this year. But we move on to the next thing, and that is going to be Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander, the ace of the Houston Astros, hurts his forearm. There's no real timetable on his return, but he's going to be out for a good chunk of this season right now. This really hurts the Astros. Whether he's out for a week or a month, it doesn't change the fact that this is the ace of their staff. Anytime an ace goes down, it hurts your team. It is going to be a very, very big change. I mean, anytime you look at it, you've got to say, this is like a DeGrom, a Scherzer going down for the season. This is a Cy Young Award winner from 2019, and he is now down. This hurts the Astros a lot, but I'm intrigued as to seeing what you guys got on it.
For me, I think it's that when you're looking at Justin Verlander, first off, I just want to say this. He shouldn't have won Cy Young last year. Just wanted to say that since you brought it up. I think Garrett Cole got robbed. But going on with Justin Verlander, this is a staff that had already lost their best pitcher in Garrett Cole in free agency, and now they lose their best pitcher now, and now they're down to Zach Greinke, who is not the same as he was in Kansas City or when he was with the Dodgers or Brewers. So they have a lot of questions going on in that rotation, and their bullpen is not that strong. So their pitching staff is just taking hit after hit. And I think that when you look at a team like the Athletics, who have a solid pitching staff and are playing really well, this could be the Athletics' chance to get a lead in the division and keep it to where, like, if you have a 5-6 game lead, that's huge in this season because there's only 60 games to make it up. And if they could get that while Verlander's out, they could easily get this division and put the Astros in the wild card. So their reign as AL West champions could be over because of the Verlander injury.
I gotta say, when you said it, Ryan, about how they're getting hit after hit, yeah, they got pretty much a lot of hits last night against them. But I just gotta say, it just sucks how now they're left to Zach Greinke. No bad thing about him; he's a great pitcher, but he's not Justin Verlander or Garrett Cole. They lost Garrett Cole, like you said, Ryan, due to free agency. Now Verlander, there's a big rumor that he's going to be out for the whole season, but then all of a sudden, like, no, that's false. Like, we just don't know when he's coming back. And knowing how big of a season this is, like how much every game means, doesn't matter if you have extended playoffs or not. This season and each game is crucial. If they win every single game, and whenever Verlander was supposed to start, that's great for them. But what if, like, because of their bullpen, they lose a lot of games because of their bullpen? What about that? And also, what if Zach Greinke is the only good pitcher for starting pitching? Like, if they have that rotation of bullpen pitchers, they're gonna be like, okay, since Verlander's in here, we have to fill in for Verlander with a couple of relief pitchers. All that is going to make them tired and not going to be able to hit their spots, not have really good control, not a lot of break, velocity. It's going to take a toll on the whole bullpen in general. And knowing how they're very, very not so strong in their bullpen, this could be a really big hit on how they could contend for the actual title in the AL West. I wouldn't be concerned of them making the playoffs, but maybe getting that high seed for the playoffs is a really big danger for them.
Yeah, obviously, I just want to say first and foremost that I'm glad he's not going to be out for the whole year. I'm glad he addressed that to Twitter and he shut down the rumors right away. But like we said earlier, we were kind of sketched about the Astros repeating as champions in the first place with how good the Athletics have gotten over the offseason. And I think this news just puts that rumor to rest. I think now the Athletics have a clear shot of winning the AL West. And who knows, maybe the Angels get hot. We saw Anthony Rendon play his first game with the Angels last night. He went yard in his first game, So maybe they make some noise and see what they can do. But I think this really hurts the Astros in a variety of ways. I can't see them recovering from this unless Zach Greinke has a monster Cy Young season back to his old Angel Kansas City days. But I don't see that happening. And this just really hurts the Astros.
I just have one last thing to say. The original report did say he was out the whole year. I'm glad it's not a season-ending injury as well, because you never want to see that type of thing. But no matter how long he's out, there's still going to be that effect because they don't have the reigning Cy Young and a guy who has been one of the league's best pitchers, if not even close to the most dominant since his trade to the Astros. So that's all I wanted to say on that.
Yeah, big for Verlander to revitalize his career ever since being on the Astros. A tough blow for him. Then we move on to another tough blow for another AL West team as Corey Kluber, a man that the Texas Rangers just picked up in the offseason. Now he has a tear in his shoulder muscle. He's going to be shut down for 4 weeks. That is a massive blow for the Rangers. Corey Kluber, such a great pitcher. I was excited to see how he did on the Rangers. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but I know that is going to be a really, really big thing for the Rangers to not have him. Such a good pitcher, but I mean, this is just the way baseball goes. So let's see what you guys got.
Well, the thing about Kluber is obviously it's the Rangers. They're not a contending team, so obviously it's a big hit for them if they wanted to make something as a very small team and try to sneak into the playoffs with these extended playoffs format. But at the end of the day, the Rangers are not a title contending team, so I really don't think it's gonna impact. It's gonna help other teams or other organizations to really destroy the Rangers from now on, but for them to be competing for a division title and try to be like a sleeper team in the playoffs, they never were that. And now having Corey Kluber out, it's going to hurt them even more. So I don't think it's such a big news because right from the get-go, we knew the Rangers were not a big team to be on the lookout for, in my opinion. Right.
No, Marcus said exactly. Since it's the Rangers, since it's Kluber, this is as big of a deal as obviously like we just got the news about Verlander, but it still hurts him. Michael said, I was excited to see him play this year. It'd have been cool to see a former Cy Young Award winner playing a different team. It's always exciting to see this type of things, but hopefully if he's out for the rest of the year, hopefully he comes back next year and is able to perform at a 162-game season like we used to see him play.
For me, remember, the Rangers traded for him, and now that trade is not looking too good because they just lost him for an unforeseeable amount of time. But Kluber is someone that I think will bounce back strong. I think that if he's out for the year, if he comes back, he's still going to come back strong. But again, the Rangers were a team that could have easily snuck into that 7-8 spot, but now they can't. They just lost their top starter, someone they gave up some big prospects for, and now you don't have them. And I think it's just, they still have Lance Lynn and Mike Minor, who are still solid pieces, but you don't have your ace. Losing a former Cy Young Award winner is killer, and it's going to kill that rotation.
Yeah, it's going to make for a big impact on that season. You've got to feel for those Rangers fans, a team that was so promising in the middle of the 2010s, and then they have just fallen off. But then you move on. We've got two more things to talk about in the news, and the first big thing out of these last two is the thing that's just an ongoing story, and that is the Miami Marlins and the chaos that is surrounding their team. So much going on with the Marlins right now between the COVID problems, rescheduling games. Nick said before that there have been 18 players now that have been positive tested for the coronavirus. So many players impacted. And even with that, there have still only been 0.5% of Major League Baseball tests to come back positive. It is such a crazy number. But I mean, as of right now, this is a big blow to the season. But the thing that people were wondering is what happens with the games that are being lost. There have been talks that you might see some being made up, but the most likely thing is that you're going to see them not be made up, and the season's going to be decided strictly on winning percentage, which is something that hasn't happened in a long time. So that could be a very interesting thing. I was talking to you guys yesterday about it, how let's say the Marlins end up going 28-20, and then another team goes, let's say 34-20. That's 34-26. And at the end of the day, one team clearly was better, but the Marlins ended up not playing as many games, lost less games, but they would still be your division winners. So that we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we've got a long time until we will really realize the true impact of this. But this might be a very long-lasting impact that people really aren't thinking too much about right now.
Yeah, obviously this is really unfortunate. My thoughts and prayers go out to all those that have been infected, the 18 players, the players, the staff. But let's be honest, we saw this coming. Florida is one of the worst states globally from the pandemic, and obviously a team like the Marlins, who obviously play there, are seeing the effects of it, And I'm not sure if we will see this for like a team like the Yankees or like the Mets, like in a state like New York or even California or even Texas, But this could be the first of many dominoes that we see throughout the season. But I hope that it only stays with the Marlins.
Oh, Nick, you're cutting out a little bit. Okay, you're all good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
It's encouraging to see that no Phillies players tested positive yet, and I hope it stays that way. And but this is just sad. But I hope they get under control soon. I hope we be able to see them play soon too.
I agree. We knew from a get-go that there was a risk of someone getting positive, especially how the MLB, I wouldn't say like they didn't give any protocols, but I think they could have done a little bit better on how to handle the situation of dealing with COVID-19. You know what I mean? Is like the traveling aspect is still there. It's not like in the NBA, it's a bubble, which I think would have been something smart to do, but just 30 teams, just so much to have at one site. And still, like, we don't know how the NBA is going to work. Obviously, we know the bubble is working as of right now, but once players start playing, it's a whole different story. But just the aspect of still being able to travel to different cities, because like I was talking to one of my friends from ESPN, and he's like, the thing that I'm concerned about when you go to basically, if you look at all the AL West and NL West teams, Dodgers got to go to San Francisco, and Dodgers obviously, so the Giants have to go to LA, which is a COVID hotspot. Giants have to go to San Diego, which is a rising COVID hotspot, and they still have to play other teams that have COVID hotspots. So the players are risking their health every time they get outside their house to go on a plane, every single time they travel. So it was meant, I won't say it was meant, but it was very probable to happen. And obviously our thoughts and prayers to all the players that were infected, because of the fact, like, it's me being a survivor of the virus. I wouldn't wish it to anyone. I just wish that all these players and coaches are able to recover and we're able to see them back at the ballpark. For us to see if they're going to be made up or not, I'm pretty sure they are, because of the fact, like, I think there's some off days that maybe the league with Commissioner Manfred, he has to step in and say, like, hey, we're probably gonna have to do a double header on what was scheduled an off day, or maybe try to do something to make up those games, because I don't think it would be fair for all the players. I mean, for all the other teams to play the 60 games, but all of a sudden, because the Marlins, I'm not saying they're going to be contenders, but because of if they do get on a hot streak, and because of those 4 games that they missed, now they're going to be looking at their winning percentage, when those 4 games could make a huge impact for other teams for them to sneak into the playoffs. So those are my 2 cents on it.
Ryan.
Sorry about that. So for me, looking at this whole situation, it's hard to see. I hope everyone recovers, and it's hard to see these guys who are risking their health get this type of getting the virus. And I just think that looking at it, you saw the Marlins go out and get 3 pitchers today who are MLB ready because they need players. So expect more of that. They're going to have to go out and get guys to make up for the losses. But I think the one positive to come out of this is that there's been a ramp up in testing. No other players from any other team has tested positive. So that's good. That's really good to see, especially when you look at the Phillies and the Yankees. No positives for both days. So if we can keep this to the Marlins, that's a positive. And once they get healthy, if they can just keep it controlled, then everything will get better.
Yeah, that's going to be the storyline that we're going to be following. We'll most likely provide an update on this next week to see what's happening, because at this point next week, once we do figure out what we're going to be doing, we're going to have to figure out a different time to do podcasts next week, because I'm not going to be able to do it on most likely Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, but we'll figure something out. But it's going to be a very unique storyline that we will be following. Like Ryan said, lots will be going into this. Hopefully it does just stick to the Marlins. The final thing of news here is going to just be Dusty Baker. Just a really quick talk about him. The Astros picked up his option for the 2020 season. That is a big bit of information for Dusty himself. Obviously a first-time manager with the Astros. He's obviously a long-time manager, but a big-time veteran in the sport. And the Astros really need him. He's been handling this Astros situation so well, like we said he would. I think it's going to be important to have him there behind the reins once the fans get back into the stadiums next year, and we are going to be seeing maybe a little bit more of what we saw from last night. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But obviously, Dusty Baker, the last bit of news we're going to talk about, and then we're going to head into the play of the day, a new thing that we're going to start here in this 2020 season, where I picked out one big play that happened over each day from the last time we were here. And that starts off from Friday all the way through yesterday. So Friday, opening day. I mean, there's no question about this one. Matt Olson hit a big-time grand slam. Such a big hit for Matt Olson. I mean, first of all, the Athletics. It seems like every single season you just turn on the highlights, and it seems like once a week the Athletics are getting a walk-off. I mean, I don't know what it is with the Athletics and walk-offs, but they are the walk-off kings. So that's the first thing right there. But Matt Olson, a big piece of this Athletics team. We're talking about it now with the hit of Justin Verlander. They needed to get hot, and they got hot right off the bat in the beginning of the season. The first team to play with that extra inning rule, just a very, very big opportunity for him to go out there and shine and prove that the Athletics are here to stay.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the first time we saw the extra inning rule come into play. And I didn't make that. Honestly, it wasn't even that big of a deal because Matt also ended up hitting a grand slam, so really it didn't even matter. But yeah, great for the Athletics. They're looking like the clear favorites to win this AL West, and they're just trying to outlast everybody else. Everyone else is getting banged up due to injuries, this and that. So yeah, good for the Athletics, good for Matt Olson. And that was just a great way to start off the baseball season.
I just got a quick thing to say is because of this Grand Slam and basically how they were it seemed on the field that they were so united and prepared. It's gonna make people take them more seriously, because of the fact that AL West, Astros or Angels because Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani and Anthony Rendon. People are still sleeping on the Athletics, and they just got better. We've been saying that time and time again. The Athletics are a team to really be scared of because you saw it right there. Matt Olson Grand Slam, and that's not the only player you could hit Grand Slams. So the Athletics are a team that people need to take serious now, especially how they're playing and how they got better. It's a scary team in the AL West, without a doubt.
For me, I'm pretty sure it was just Nick and I who decided that the Athletics were going to win this division. The Athletics are a team that are just scary, especially because you hear so much about AJ Puck and Jesus Luzardo. If they are even half of what people are saying about them, they're going to be top-tier pitchers for them. They've got a solid rotation. They got Fires. They've got they've got Manaya. They've got Montas. They've got such a solid rotation right there. And then they, in my opinion, they have the best closer in the American League in Liam Hendricks. This team is really good. Ramon Laureano is a terrific defender, a solid hitter. You've got, in my opinion, the best corner infield duo in the entire league with Chapman and Olsen. And then you got Marcus Semien. This team is dangerous. This is a team that I hate that people are still sleeping on because they are just that good.
Yeah, just all around good team. I'm reluctant to say this, but I think that my prediction for the Astros might end up going wrong. But I mean, I'll be honest. If Verlander doesn't get hurt, that doesn't happen. But injuries happen. It's gonna happen.
Well, even with Verlander.
Yeah, but even with Verlander, I still think that it'll be I still think that it would be much more competitive. But then we move into Saturday, and we have the Braves comeback versus the Mets. Obviously, this hits me very hard. This was a big game that the Mets were up 2-1 heading into the top of the ninth. Edwin Diaz comes in to pitch. He's got 3-2, 2 outs. He throws a pitch right off the outside corner to Marcell Ozuna, and Ozuna hits a home run to tie the game. I'm not lying when I tell you that I think every single Mets fan had flashbacks to last year. The second we saw that ball was out of the park, that was just a scary moment as a Mets fan because Diaz looked so good on opening day. He fell behind in that game. And, I mean, he was so good in the second game, too. He was dominant until that one pitch that Marcell Ozuna hit. He even said after the game, he said, "Look, I don't feel bad at all." He said that was a great pitch. It was on the outside corner, and it was a perfect pitcher's pitch, and he hit it. So it is a tough blow for the Mets on Saturday for them to lose that game and for them to just take this loss on the chin. And it was a heartbreaking game going into extra innings when the Mets ended up losing as well in extra innings, giving up 3 runs in the top of the 10th and then losing that game. That was a heartbreaking loss, but thankfully the Mets have bounced back a little bit after that. But still, that Saturday was it was a tough day for the New York faithful.
Well, once really quick thing I got to say, that's baseball, man. Sometimes the baseball goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. That's all I got to say. We know that the Mets have some offense with Cespedes and obviously with Pete Alonso and obviously with other pieces, but sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
For the Mets, I'm not a huge fan of Edwin Diaz. I think that he struggled last year, and I think that you saw last year, I think the Mets made some bad decisions with him because last year he struggled pitching on back-to-back days.
Too many bad.
And it happened again. But it's part of it, I don't know what else to really say. The Mets are a team that are sneaky. They are, especially with the expanded playoffs. I think that they could make the playoffs. They're a good team. A lot of it depends on if Cespedes can stay healthy, which I doubt he can. But this is a team that's sneaky. Despite the loss of Stroman for right now and Syndergaard. I still think that this is a team that's dangerous, especially when you have reigning for the past 2 years, Jacob deGrom as your ace. So that's why the Mets are still a scary team.
Nick, you're good? All right, cool. So that brings us to Sunday and the Rays with a 10th inning walk-off win. Kevin Kiermaier with a big walk-off triple for the Rays. I mean, it was an exciting win. Not tons of stuff happened on Sunday that was too notable, but this one just for me happened to be the most notable thing. Just a big hit to see Kevin Kiermaier go out there, represent the Rays. The Rays are a team that really needs to win. They need to be able to beat the Yankees, and that really seems to be the only team that they have to beat because with the top two, like Nick said, top two teams making the playoffs in each league, in each division, actually, that's a big opportunity for the Rays. The Red Sox are proving already that they are not the team that they should be, and there's no one else in that. I mean, other than the Blue Jays, who are surprising everybody, but there's really no one else other than the Yankees that the Rays have to worry about. So that's a big opportunity for them to get themselves going, and they got themselves off to a hot start this year. Then we move on to Monday, and Ryan, this is your time to shine, my friend. We've got a first of all, wow, Ryan's a little excited over there, and Nick's leaving. This is the first game of the 4-game set that we were talking about between the Tigers and the Royals. Emotional series. And in this game, the Royals were your play of the day by hitting 6 home runs in a comeback routing of the Tigers. Not only were they down 5-0 in that game, but they came back 5-1, but they still came back and won it 14-6. A huge win for the Kansas City Royals. Ryan, take the floor.
Taking this. First off, the 6 home runs ties the club record for most in a game. I'll say this. I was pissed off when Montgomery struggled like that because last time he had pitched in Comerica Park, he went 7 scoreless innings and had a career-high 12 strikeouts. So I expected a lot from him. But the man that I've always been against that signing, Maikel Franco, boy, did he have a great game. He hit his first 2 home runs as a Royal. Great hitting from him. Merrifield got in. Soler got in. Salvi got in. And even Brett Phillips. Brett Phillips is not known for his hitting. He's known for his defense, and he was terrific. Then you have Ryan O'Hearn returning from having COVID-19, and he gets 2 hits actually gives the Royals the game-winning runs as he gave them a 7-5 lead. So, going into this season, I've been most worried about the pitching, but it has been the hitting that's been struggling, and you saw that again last night. But on Monday, boy, it was so nice to finally see them get out of it and just start hitting and just showing that this team possesses a lot of power and possesses the ability to score runs at a high rate. Now it's just Mondesi's got to get going. He is in a funk, but that was a terrific game, and I'm completely happy with how it went with the bullpen going 7 innings and only giving up 1 run, and them being able to fight back and score 13 runs to 1 to end in those final 7 innings. So it was a terrific game to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, Ryan, you explained it well enough. We don't even need to have any more conversation.
Nick, come back. Nick, come back. It's okay. You guys won last night.
That's what I was gonna say.
You guys won last night.
Is Ryan done?
You're losing the next 2. Okay, Dodgers fan.
Remember him saying that. Remember him saying that to win the next 2. Okay, I remember you guys are here for that.
Hey, we got Duffy on the mound, Ben Singer. Let's go. Hey, you're gonna owe me $30 tomorrow. Just remember that.
Remember him saying this.
I have high hopes.
Remember him saying this.
It's probably gonna come back and bite me. I know it, but
I'm just so glad we won yesterday. If we would have lost yesterday, we would have been in danger of the broom coming out.
You knew. The Royals should have won that game.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. You threw a hanging fastball to Christian Stewart and he hit it oppo. So
I'll also say this: that home run by Scope last night was ridiculous. Dude, that was a beautiful
420 dead center.
Well, it was like 440 dead center, and it was a beautiful pitch, low changeup, and he just took it. I was like, okay.
That was
like
the Tigers.
The execution on that at bat by Scope there was incredible. I'll give you that. But the Tigers are losing the next 2.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see in about
we'll see.
6 hours.
we hop into Tuesday. That was yesterday for those who are watching either in the future or don't know what day of the week it is, like most people now. But Tuesday, yesterday, Joe Kelly and the Astros. Boy, oh boy, was this a show or what? I was so surprised to see this come down the way that it did so early in the season, but I'm also not at the same time. Joe Kelly, I mean, this guy is just if it were appropriate, I would say that he's got something to steal, but it's not. But this guy is just fearless. He goes out there.
You know what? I'll say it for you.
No. Oh,
no. I didn't say anything bad.
PG.
I didn't say anything bad.
PG. But
no. I just wanted to say it because I completely agree.
Yes, absolutely. But I mean, he throws at the head of Carlos Correa and Alex Bregman, and then walks off the field and gives them a pouting face. I mean, we're like going back in time baseball here. This is back in the old days when they used to throw at each other's heads and say, yeah, I threw at your head. What are you going to do about it? So, just such a crazy, crazy development that we saw in yesterday's game for Joe Kelly to do that. It surprised me. I'll be honest. It surprised me, but Marco, this is your big topic, obviously, of the show, so take it away.
Well, I got to say, this was destined to happen right from first pitch, obviously, because we know what happened in 2017. And just letting you know about Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly, he was obviously in the 2018 Red Sox team, so he wasn't affected by 2017 with the Dodgers, but he's still part of that Red Sox team that lost to the Astros in the ALDS in 2017, and also that they lost against in the 2019. Joe Kelly was in 2019 Dodgers, but still, like, he was so involved with the whole thing that was happening with the Astros. And when you saw what was going on, I sent out a tweet this morning to Joe Davis this morning, the play-by-play announcer, saying, like, if it wasn't for social distancing, I'm pretty sure Joe and Oral Hershiser were going to have their boxing play-by-play debut, because it was just destined to happen, because of all the tension, the offseason scandal. It was meant to happen, obviously. But when you saw Joe Kelly, he yawned. He was like, man, I got to go against these guys. Like, I hate them so much. He would be throwing fastballs at them every single time if he could. Obviously, fines would come, suspensions would come in the way. It's all a different mess. But you saw Joe Kelly, he was not having great control in his fastball. He had a better control in his curveball. But still, like, how he threw those balls to Alex Bregman at the head and also Carlos Correa. I don't wish any injury to anyone, but the fact, like, it kind of made me like, yes, dude, you have some really, really big parts to make that kind of move and still walk away with the face that you did, and still say comments to the guys at the plate, especially Correa. So I just got to tip my cap off, sign of respect to Joe Kelly. You are the best. And for that reason, people love Joe Kelly, because of the big man parts he has. So Joe Kelly, hats off to you, my man. You did great.
Yeah, obviously, Marco, that affected you in ways that it could never affect me, Michael, or Ryan. But Joe Kelly spoke with the people last night. Let's be honest. Heading into that game, we all knew something was going to happen, and I never in a million years I think it would come from Joe Kelly, but I was wrong. I now know his personality more than ever. Man, I just first of all, I just want to say Correa is my least favorite Astro and probably my least favorite baseball player of all time. I don't know why. He just rubs me the wrong way. But I just want to applaud Joe Kelly for picking him out of all the Astros he could have, and for also yawning when he almost threw at
Brantley. It was Brantley.
Bregman? No.
I think Young was Brantley. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just great to see him the Dodgers react in that type of way. And honestly, it had to happen from the get-go, and I'm glad they got it out last night. Maybe they'll do it tonight too. Who knows? I'm down for whatever. I'm down to see
I wouldn't
part
be
two.
surprised.
The stare down that they had after Kelly struck out Correa was just like phenomenal. Like you see Correa taking off his gear like he's a freaking WWE wrestler, and then you see Joe Kill like, oh yeah, like that was easy stuff, man. That was easy stuff, and you just see them going at it. I'm like, bro, like this is.
And then the bench is cleared.
Yes, I was like, bro. Out of
First
all,
bench clearing of the year too. That's always a big milestone.
And like I said, if it wasn't for COVID-19, they would have gone to blows without a doubt. I'm pretty darn sure. If it wasn't for COVID, oh my gosh, that would have been like something. The next, well, it went viral obviously because of what happened, but if it was an actual brawl, man, that would have been some really good, really good content to see.
Two things. First off, it's serious when those bullpens come rushing out.
Oh yeah,
it's serious.
Yep.
But Marco, I do want to welcome you to the club of throwing at the Astros. Jorge Lopez did throw at and hit Bregman, Altuve, and Correa. So
wasn't that in spring training?
No, it's in a scrimmage game.
Yeah, it was a scrimmage game, but they still did it.
And I will say this, Nick, I agree with you. I hate Carlos Correa so much.
I don't know
Just
why.
the way he acts rubs me the wrong way. Like probably if I saw him, I'd be tempted to slap him.
He's a punchable player.
A very punchable face.
To me, that's me with Alex Bregman. He's got a punchable face to me.
See,
But
Bregman's not as
obviously
bad.
We're not inviting violence here. Well, let's be real here. We're not. Ryan took that to a new level that I didn't expect it to go to.
I'm sorry.
I really think Carlos Correa, like he's a talented baseball player, but the thing that I don't like about him is that he doesn't live up to the moment.
Yeah.
Like basically when all the allegations came out, he was the advocate, like we didn't cheat, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. But all of a sudden you see Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve, Altuve's apology was stupid. They at least said something, and Correa didn't say nothing.
Don't take off my jersey. Don't take off my jersey. My wife doesn't like my shirt off.
Yeah, I got a new tattoo. Like, yeah. Who gets a tattoo in the middle of the playoffs? Come on.
Well, that's just a terrible excuse. I mean,
I also want to reference Joe Kelly. What a man. What a man. Especially at the end of the inning when he says, nice swing. Not going to say the cuss word. I thought that was terrific. But I feel like he has an excuse because he has had over his career trouble with his fastball.
Oh,
with
yeah,
command.
absolutely.
And he's throwing heat. He's throwing like 96 to 98.
I mean, the pitch to Correa was like a slider that just slipped out.
I'm talking about the one that went to Bregman.
Oh, yeah.
96 right
I got a
behind
new
him.
shirt coming in, guys.
That's fire.
That's beautiful.
We should all invest in that. Can we all? Let's just start
Let's do it.
Marco, I'll Venmo you.
Yes.
Go fund me to get all of us shirts for that to wear on the podcast.
I thought it was awesome. You knew it was bound to happen because the Dodgers have past experiences with the Astros, but so does Joe Kelly with the Red Sox. So I'm happy to see that. I thought it was awesome, especially his reaction afterwards. He yawned when he almost nailed Bregman in the head, and then just pouts at him after he strikes out Correa. I loved it. That's what we like to see.
The funny thing for me is that Kelly was also on the cheating 2018 Red Sox, so I kind of find it ironic that he's taking out on the Astros when he was on a team that was cheating as well. So I just find it funny.
He joined the Dodgers in 2018.
No, he was in
2019.
He was in the World Series.
He signed with the Dodgers after.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah, remember?
I know that, but still, bro, you took it. All Dodger fans and all supporters, MLB supporters. Obviously the Royals did it first, but still, the Dodgers being the team that was victimized in 2017, got thrown out of a World Series, bro. That inning was honestly the most crazy, interesting, and best inning so far this season because it was just so much hype and tension. That game in general.
Also, I just have one thing to say. I am loving the love that the Royals are getting on this podcast today. First off with the 6 home runs, then first hitting the Astros. I'm loving it. Keep it going.
I'm used to it.
Well,
Yeah.
basically the 6 home runs. It was basically your own vent that none of us said anything. Just saying.
That's a good
Hey,
point. True.
Hey,
You
I'm
were
surprised Michael put it in because I still would have talked about it. But
Well,
I'm surprised he
Mike's
said
allowed to say because he's the host.
Good
He
point.
has to say 'cause he's
Well,
the
no,
host.
but I'm the one who chose
And
it.
just to let you
play.
know,
I'm surprised.
this
No, what I'm
topic
saying
is
is, I'm surprised he chose it.
Wait, hold up. And just to let you know, in this topic of basically Joe Kelly throwing it against the Astros, everything that happened, all 4 of us kept our cameras open and we stayed on the screen. Just letting you know, Ryan. Just letting you know.
Hey, you knew Nick was going to go off because it was against the Tigers.
That's fair though.
Okay, that's all. Move on.
We're going to move on to the another new topic that we're going to be working on this year. That is the Our Team Overview. That is going to be how our team did in the last week and so far this season, and then a key player in the last week. So I want to try and go for a speed run here. Like, let's try and fit it into a minute maximum for each of us, just how the team did in the last week and in the season they're doing so far, and then a key player that we had in the last week. I'll start because we'll just go in the order of me, Nick, Marco, Ryan. But so we'll start it right now because it's 46. So I think the Mets did really well in the last week. An impressive week for the Mets. Starting pitching wise was shaky. DeGrom had a great start, didn't get to pitch too much. Michael Wacha had a brilliant game. The only bad spot was Rick Porcello. He had a big blow up against the Braves. It was a tough game for the Mets to have and to deal with. But the bullpen has been strong. Obviously, Diaz with one mistake was really the only mistake the Mets have had out of their bullpen this year. And the offense is the only thing that has been tough for the Mets has been their offense. But the last 2 games against the one game against the Red Sox last night, forgot they didn't play him again today. They have. Yeah, they just beat the Red Sox for 2 games. Wow, I'm getting confused. The offense is picking it up a little bit. It's been good to see them picking it up. Alonso's got to start hitting, but the key player for the Mets has been Michael Conforto. He's been so hot. He started the season off really, really well. But, I mean, other than that, it's just been a solid week for the Mets. Nick, your turn.
Man, honestly, if we're honest, I didn't have the Tigers winning 3 games probably until August. So I couldn't have seen a better start. You know, we took 2 out of 3 from the Reds, who I had winning their division this year at Great American Ballpark, which I was just as shocked as most of you guys were, I'm sure. And then, you know, we did lose 1 against KC. I'll give Ryan that. But then we came back last night, got a dub.
Losing the next 2.
Okay, well, it's not your turn,
Let's
buddy.
wait your turn, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm excited. I was also very excited to see Michael Fulmer pitch last night. Even though 2 nights ago, even though he did get roughed up. Ryan, stop talking.
Gosh, Nick's only got 10 seconds left, and Ryan's wasted it all. I'll give you an extra 15 seconds, Nick, for Ryan. You can starting at the 0. You'll have about 20 more seconds.
It was just cool to see Fulmer out there. Hopefully, he gets a couple more starts before we shut down for the rest of the year. And my key player has been CJ Cron. Great offseason addition, both defensively and offensively. He was our only offensive power the first 2 days against the Reds. I'm done.
You're just go ahead, Marco.
On my end, I'm really happy with what the Dodgers are doing because of the fact, obviously, they blew out the Giants in the first 2 games, 8-1 and 9-1. Yes, they lost the next 2, which obviously Nick said that's like equal to a 5-game losing streak. But still, like they lost by 1 run on Saturday and 2 runs on Sunday. It wasn't a big deal, you know. So they didn't play the best baseball those 2 games that they lost. So especially they went against the Astros yesterday, and knowing how what happened between Joe Kelly and the Astros is going to somehow unite them to be a better baseball team and motivate them a whole lot to get baseball started. I mean, like baseball started, but start playing better baseball. You know, so I'm really happy with the Dodgers and what they've been doing, you know, and obviously with these extended playoffs, I really don't worry about those 2 games that we lost. Obviously, we're a great team. Still, we have 55 games to go. Not worried about it. I'm happy with the product I'm seeing so far from the Dodgers.
Here we go, gentlemen. Okay, I'm going to say this. I was shocked the Royals got 1 in Cleveland. Just going to say that. Singer was actually terrific. I was very pleased with his debut. The one thing that made me so mad about the Cleveland series was that the Royals struck out 40 times. That's a club record for the first 3 games of the season. In the 84 total outs of that series, they struck out 48%. So that was bad. But then we get to Detroit, and I actually had to report a murder on Monday after 6 home runs and 14 runs. But honestly, going into the season,
Yikes.
my whole thing
Not funny.
my whole thing was the pitching. I was worried about the pitching a lot. The pitching has not looked that bad besides that final game in Cleveland. The pitching has not looked bad. It's been the hitting. The hitting has been subpar besides Monday. They've got to get more consistent hitting the ball and not leaving so many runners on base. That's my thing. Mondesi has got to get going. He's frustrating me. But for me, there's been 2 players that have been key the past week. It's been Whit Merrifield, who's just been on a tear. It continues that he is the king of Detroit because he just kills the Tigers.
1 player, not 2.
And then, okay,
No,
I have to say this one.
No,
Salvador Perez,
No.
because it was hurt when they lost him last year, and having him back, he's just been awesome to have back. He just brings such a great energy and leadership. And Nick, shut up. You said CJ Cron's a good defender. He had 2 errors last night. Shut up.
You can't tell me the fact you robbed Joey Votto 4 base hits in our series against the Reds. You didn't watch those games? It was insane, bro. You had to be there.
I still think the Reds would have won one of those games if Moustakas did not go on the IL. Just saying.
You had to be there, Ryan. You had to be there.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
I want to point out that Ryan went at about 1:40 on his when all of us kept it under a minute.
And he gave 2 players for this.
Okay, I'm sorry that I'm very passionate about my team, and I'm glad that my second favorite Royals player, Perez, is back, okay? So, you know what? Cry me a river.
We're not passionate about our teams?
I'm more passionate than all of you.
Yes, someone's bashing.
And yet my team is the second worst.
We're not bashing me for once. Oh, this is amazing. Yes. Join the bandwagon.
You know, you were getting so much love, but now, bro, let me get my cup in the water, bro. I need to get that, man.
No.
Seriously, man.
I think the Dodgers win the World Series when they choke every year.
Oh, bro, but come on. You can't be. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. This took a turn. Woo! Oh, baby.
I wonder who's next to get bashed. It's either going to be Nick or me. Who knows? We'll see.
I'm done bashing. I'm done bashing. Besides that, the Dodgers are the best team. And actually, I was surprised. Walker Buehler looked really good last night, and I expect him to give up more because the Astros aren't good. So
he's sucking up to you, Marco. I want to point.
He's my Cy Young pick. Shut up, Michael. The Mets are a joke. Just like the fanhood.
Whoa. Let's be real here. Let's take a look around at all the Mets theme stuff. Should I bring you to my room to see all the Mets?
Watch Ryan say, "Oh, you got those at the garage sale or the hand-me-downs or something. You didn't buy them or get them yourself."
Oh yeah, you're probably gonna get Mets. You're probably gonna get Mets here at a garage sale because they're that bad.
Yikes!
I'm just joking. It's playful jokes.
Ryan's been on fire today.
The main one. Hey, next week though.
Psych.
Hey, guess what? Hey, Nick, you're gonna lose the next 2.
Dude, keep the same energy.
We muted him. We took care of the problem.
You, my friend, are a joke.
You are a joke.
Hey, the Tigers are a joke.
All right, let's
what? Which means you're a joke. You have a worse record than us.
Let's stay on topic, Ryan.
We got to finish the show.
4 minutes of tangent right now. Goodness gracious. This is bound to happen once a week. It's just going to happen eventually.
Hey, y'all attacked me. I defended myself.
We can't keep ourselves sane for that.
Miles are a joke.
Hey, I would just like to say my favorite person on this. My favorite person is Marco.
Yes, you.
He can unmute himself after I mute him.
It goes Marco, Nick, then Michael.
You know what? This is what I have to say about that. You're absolutely right.
Should I go put it on, Michael?
No, we're good. Well, next week we'll go for it.
Next week. Do that next
We're
week.
going to go to the standings update, which is going to begin with our teams. Just quickly looking at our team standings, the Mets, right now, between our teams, we have a 3-way tie between me, Nick, and Marco. We are all 3-2.
Whose name did you say?
What'd you say?
You didn't say someone's name.
Oh, well, that's because in fourth place and last out of all of us, at a 2-3 record, is the Royals. And
Hey, gentlemen, who's won a World Series in the past 30 years? Just want to attack you for that comment, Nick.
Use a
Just gotta go
different
out there.
technique.
Yes.
Think of something different.
I'm not attacking the Dodgers because they're going to win it this year, but I am going to attack the Mets
New
and Nick.
jokes. New jokes. Let's get new ones.
Hey, Nick, when was the last I'm not going to say that, no.
Nope.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice.
We're going to roll. Let's let it roll. We're going to let it roll.
Next week, the Royals will not be in last.
We'll see. We will see. But you know who won't be in last? Me and Marco, because we are the two teams that are dominating this year alongside Nick. But Nick, obviously, you're not expecting your team to last in that spot.
Your team's dominating?
Me? No.
We're the same record, Marco. We're 3-2. We're dominating in the
For
four.
the whole entire season, I'm like, bro, come on now.
I said we're dominating in the four.
Okay.
Just wait. We're going to get hot. We're going to climb out of that fourth.
We're going to be second before you know it. Yeah.
Hey, next week, we'll be 500. I'm calling it. Only one game back. That's not hard.
Don't put yourself in this situation. Don't put yourself in this
Okay,
situation.
we're one game back of 500. I don't think it's going to be that hard when you beat the Tigers twice and just need to get one against the White Sox.
The White Sox. The White Sox.
They've been surprisingly rough. Just saying.
They have. We're going to get to that. All right. We're trying to move on here. So, National League East. The Marlins and Mets right now are tied for first in that division. Keep in mind, Mets first. Don't let that. I'm gonna enjoy that for this
That
week.
won't settle.
It might not last, but the Mets are in first place in their division. I'm gonna enjoy it. They are tied with the 2-1. Wow, everyone's just going off today. So the 2-1 Marlins still sitting first with a .667 winning percentage, which is that's really the effects of this postponement that we've been seeing with them. The Marlins lead their division with a 2-1 record. That's not really what people want to see. But the Mets are in second place in that division, and everyone else in the NL East is really falling apart. I mean, you've got the Braves at 2-3. The Phillies are 1-2, and your defending World Series champion Nationals are 1-4. I mean, Dave Martinez had an interview yesterday, and he said it just looks like we're just not having fun. He said our team's not enjoying ourselves. We're not having fun out there this year, and that's whatever that is a testament to. That's a big blow. The Nationals came in after such a thrilling World Series win in Game 7 last year, and now here they are, and they're really tanking. It's too bad. Obviously, no one wanted to see the Nationals doing so poorly, but we're gonna roll through the whole
Coming back.
What was that?
Juan Soto's coming back, so that might make a tiny bit of a difference. But I see where you're going at, though.
They're still 3 games behind, but again, last year they were 11 games under 500 when they won the World Series. So
They weren't playing 60 games last year.
yes, I was going to say through 60 games last year they were 11 games under 500. So that is
You never know.
that
They
is
still got great rotation.
mine. I see a bubble just flashing because there's no one on camera talking.
Are you embarrassed to show your face because you're a Royals fan? Can you show
Oh
your
my gosh!
No,
Oh,
no,
wait. Who is the last team to win a World Series in 30 years?
no. I just have a bloody nose right now, and I don't want to
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. What happens when you're
Wow, the Royals really took a
you're on
blow.
MLB Network and they're like, "What's going on with that guy? I got a bloody nose. Don't show my throat. Sorry."
Hey, you know what?
Hey, I
You
just
guys can
you're
hate.
saying you'll be on
You guys can
MLB Network. Let's calm down a little bit.
You guys can hate, but I thank you for the compliment, Michael. I know you're trying to suck up to get above Nick. Nobody's gonna pass Marco.
to be loud?
Marco's the best.
You don't know how much you mean to me. If I, was
I
a
love you, Ryan. I love you.
Oh my goodness.
Nick, you're not gonna fall.
We're
You're
going to
not
roll through the
I know,
entire National League before we get your guys' comments because we're going to try and shorten up the we're just going to try and shorten up the show as much as possible. That's just my goal, is to get an impactful show out there. So the NL East wrapped this first week up with the Mets and Marlins tied for first. Then the National League Central, this has been the biggest surprise of all. Well, not biggest surprise, but this has been one of the biggest surprises so far. The Cubs are 4-1 to start the year. They're on a 3-game winning streak and lead their division over the Cardinals by 1.5 games. Everyone else in that division is at or under 500. That is a big thing to keep in mind as we get throughout this season. With the Cubs being 4-1 early on, that could make a big difference. I mean, obviously we'll look a week ahead from now, but that's still it's a good chunk of games that they have to lose in the meantime in order to not hold that top spot. So for the Cubs to be in first place there, the team that we expected to win that division, the Reds, well, they're sitting in last right now at 1-4. So that is that's a tough it's tough for all of us. But at least where we all go, we're gonna all go down on that ship together, at least with the Reds. So that's at least we're all hand in hand falling, just free falling in that division. Then the NL West. Well, one of our friends of the podcast is certainly very happy with this one. The San Diego Padres 4-1. They're 4-1 right now to start the year off. A team that, mind you, I said was going to be a sleeper for that wild card. They're now a sleeper for the NL West championship right now.
Whoa. Come on.
They are
now.
a game over the Dodgers. That is no joke right now.
Just wait till they face off.
I agree, but the Dodgers are in third place right now in the division. Honestly, I can't remember the last time the Dodgers were anywhere under first. So it's a story. It's a storyline. Hey, it's a storyline.
We're 5 games into the season, bro. 5 games.
Yes,
It doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish, baby.
Absolutely. But in this weekly recap, the Dodgers are in third. That is all. It is simple.
No shade against our friend Dominic Stern, but it's 5 games into the season, you know. That's maybe the only time he's going to see the Padres in first place.
This is the happiest I've ever seen Dom in his life, besides when he finally lost his virginity. Just going to put it out there.
Whoa!
Ryan, we're stepping over boundaries that we should not be at.
Hey, he texted me that.
That is. Oh, okay. Oh, good God, Ryan. We might need to take a minute break here.
Oh, so does anyone have any tips to get rid of a bloody nose?
Yes. Do you have Afrin in your house?
What's
because
that?
Afrin is a nose spray. If you spray it up your nose, it gets rid of the bloody nose.
I've never heard of that.
Any nasal spray, if you use nasal spray, it'll take care of the problem. That's our minute break. Oh, wait, we might get copyrighted on YouTube for that, so it's a good thing you shut it off. But yeah, so back to it. We're going to ignore that Ryan just said that. We're going to ignore it. So yeah, the Padres 4-1, leading their division. And that is a big turn of events that I don't think any of us expected. So let's hear your guys' thoughts on the National League while I go get water and regroup.
It's about as wrong as it looks right now. First of all, I had the Reds winning the division, and that didn't work out very well because my team took 2 out of 3 from them. So after a great start there, NL West too. Dodgers, give the marker and the Dodgers like one more week, and they'll be first place and by a mile. And we'll be laughing that the Padres are even 4-1. Padres could be though a sleeper for their wild card, which I wouldn't be surprised about because they are a very solid young team. Tatis is looking good. Hosmer's looking good. Better than when he was on the Royals.
Cap. Straight cap. Don't even try that.
Oh my God.
On for 2 seconds.
That is the most wrong statement I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
Action.
My gosh, man.
I'll be honest, Hosmer was better with the Royals than he is with the Padres.
Okay, I was kidding. This is a
It
joke.
doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that.
Anyways, just like I'll piggyback off what Nick said. Just give them the weeks. We're gonna play them on August the 3rd, which is next Monday. So they really enjoy first place for as long as it lasts, you know, and they might get some more space to make that first place lead a little bit longer because they got still 2 more games versus the Giants. Then they go against the Rockies, and then they get the Dodgers. But Nah, like if the Padres don't make the playoffs with this extended playoffs, Dom, I really think you should consider the transfer portal, man. I've been telling you ever since I met you.
Hey, he did that when the Chargers left San Diego and went to the Rams as a bandwagon.
Oh, I went to the Niners.
Okay, so my whole thing with the National League is the Diamondbacks and the Reds have just been disappointing completely. Yeah.
First of all, who told you that about the Diamondbacks?
Okay, 5 games in. Okay, enough. It's my time. It's my time to talk. I don't need your input right now.
Even sure.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
wait,
but
it's Ryan's time.
Mr. Interrupto.
But once the Reds get healthy, I think they'll be fine.
It's Ryan's time. Okay, hold up.
Cap.
Okay.
Cap. Okay, I love you. I'm just kidding. I love you.
Goodbye.
Oh man,
he couldn't take the heat, man.
He couldn't take the heat. He left the kitchen. He took that kitchen and he dipperoni. So Ryan,
I resign as a member of this podcast.
Oh man.
Oh,
so are we going to be getting any input on the National League here from Ryan?
Yeah.
That was funny. He cut out. Willie. It's like, yeah. Ryan, are we getting input? I think
he dipped.
Oh, his computer died. Oh my goodness, we're gonna remove him.
Even his computer's bashing on him, man. Oh my god,
man.
Just keep going, Michael.
We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll. This is gonna be the least interrupting we're gonna have in the entire stream today. Oh, he's gonna have to charge that and get it started. He's gonna probably get himself. He might not be back in time.
Let's just keep going for right now.
Yeah, we're gonna roll. American League is an interesting one right now. But I'll be honest with you. I'll be really honest. The American League's been unique. But the AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays are leading that division right now over the Orioles. The Orioles are in second place in that division. Second place. It's a week into the season, but they're still in second, tied with the Yankees.
They played 3 games.
I know, but then you've also got the Blue Jays, who are really hot right now, and they're in fourth. So those 3 games that those other 2 teams have played are really coming back to bite them. And then you look in last place. I mean, those Red Sox have been very disappointing. No matter what, after this Mets series, they're going to be under 500. The Mets are just hoping to make them 5 games under instead of 1. So the Mets are really going to try and put the hammer down on the Red Sox season. This could end their season right here. In a 60-game season, if the Mets sweep this series, Ryan's back. That was fast. But if the Mets sweep this series against the Red Sox, then the Red Sox season is basically all but done. So that's the AL East. Ryan, for what you missed, I was talking about the AL East there. The AL Central, we jump on in, and I mean this is an interesting division, but it's turning out pretty much the way we thought it would, other than the White Sox.
It's a joke that the Tigers are above 500.
We beat you.
Oh my goodness! I wish we could go 2 minutes on the show. 2 minutes.
Hold on, Marco and I were listening to Michael the whole time, and then you just came in here. Just ruined everything.
I think we found our coronavirus hotspot.
It felt so peaceful just listening to Michael. You know, it felt peaceful.
It felt like the olden days where it was just me talking for an hour straight, and then I started bringing guests on, and then we ended up here. So,
Ryan, we love you. We're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Nick's not even. He's like, nope, not doing it. So,
is he frozen? Is Ryan frozen?
No, he's just he's asleep. You can see the fan moving, Marco.
Oh, that's true.
His fan's spinning.
I'm looking at Ryan, not the fan.
It's like if I were sitting here like this, it's like, oh, is he frozen? No. But yeah, so AL Central. American League Central, we've got the Cleveland Indians leading this division at 4-1. That's a pick that Marco and I really thought could be possible. And then you've got the Twins in second. The thing that really disappoints me is that the White Sox are in last. That 1-4 record is really disappointing for me. This is a team I predicted to win the division. They're not doing so. So that's a tough one. That is definitely a tough one. I really expected the White Sox to do better this year. And then you go over to the AL West, and we've got the Houston Astros and the Athletics tied for first at 3-2. This is going to be a race. This is going to be the biggest race of the year, in my opinion. I think that the Astros and the Athletics are going to be there. And then you've got the Angels are holding on. Obviously, like we've been saying, it's a weekend of the season. We'll get a little bit of a better grasp next week when we have our podcast. But for right now, this is going to be a race for the year. The Athletics and the Astros are going to be going head-to-head all season long. But the American League is definitely not as different. It's not as unique as the National League is. The National League, you have a person leading each division that you didn't expect to, with the Marlins, Cubs, and Padres all leading their divisions. But then you've got the Rays, Indians, and Astros. Those are names we expect to be hearing at the top of the division. So American League, let's hear your guys' thoughts before we hop into the league leaders and then the player and pitcher of the week. No thoughts, I guess that is. I guess there's no thoughts on the American League.
Say this. I am shocked on how the White Sox are doing. I think they're just struggling. I think that pitching rotation is still trying to get its foot going, trying to get its ground. Luis Robert is looking good. I really like Robert. I think that they're a team that's full of new players, so the chemistry's just not there yet. But they've got to get going soon because it's 60 games. I think that the Astros are going to slip, especially with Verlander out. I expect the Red Sox to not be this bad. I expect them to at least have 2 wins by now. But they're just struggling. But I'll say this. I think that the Indians are looking extremely good. I still think the Twins are going to take the division, but Cleveland, I think, is going to make the playoffs now because they're looking really good. Ramirez is looking good. Their rotation is just nasty with Clevenger, Bieber, Carrasco. Then they've got Brad Hand out of the bullpen. They're a really good team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think looking overall at the Red Sox, like you mentioned, I mean, having played them now in 2 games, the Red Sox problem is their pitching. Their starting pitchers can't go long into games, and we all know the Red Sox bullpen is just not there. And that's been the kryptonite for the Red Sox. So for these league leaders, I'm going to just roll through them all, and then I'm going to see what you guys have to say afterwards, just any bits of information. But, I mean, there's a lot of league leaders to talk about here, but the first one that we obviously have to touch on is the batting average. And I'm just going to go major league leader instead of just individual league leaders for right now. Your major league leader in in batting average, is Miguel Rojas on the Miami Marlins. Again, being impacted by not playing this season. He's batting 700, which is so crazy. But to be batting 700 at this point in the season is like, I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, you have to have gone, I think you probably went 7 for 10, but that's still really good. I mean, to go 7 for 10 in a stretch is fantastic. So good for Miguel Rojas. Then you look at the home runs. We've got a 3-way tie for the top of the home run poll here between Nelson Cruz, Colin Moran, and Anthony Rizzo. The one name in there that we didn't expect to see was Colin Moran. That's a guy who, first of all, I guarantee you a majority of just regular baseball players probably don't even know who he is. Obviously we do, but this is a guy who's not a regular name. You know, obviously we expect Nelson Cruz and Anthony Rizzo to put up numbers, but right off the bat in the beginning of this season, we might be seeing a very unique home run champ right there in this season. I mean, this is last year's home run champ was Pete Alonso. The year before, I believe, wasn't it Chris Davis from the Athletics, or was that somebody else? I don't remember. 2 years ago was hold on, I can actually pull that up. Let's go see. 2018. Let's see who our home run champ was in 2018. It was Chris Davis of the Athletics. So Chris Davis was 2 years ago. Pete Alonso last year. This year, let's wait and find out. And then the last thing for the hitters side is Nelson Cruz leading the RBIs as well. He's got 10 RBIs right off the bat. That is an insane pace. He's on pace already to drive in over 100 runs this season in a 60-game season. That is unheard of. I mean, we very rarely see people get over 100 RBIs anyway, but in a 60-game season, that would be unheard of. It's obviously not going to happen. It's like right now, this guy is your MVP leader. So good for Nelson Cruz, good for the Twins. They still got to keep that up, though, for their division. And then looking at the pitchers, ERA, we're just going to roll through the ERA. There are 12 people tied for first place in the ERA. You've got Matt.
Just say the best one on that list. There's like 7 or 8 with a 0.
There's
ERA.
12 actually. I'm just gonna say them all. You got Matt Andrees. I'm gonna go through it quickly. Matt Andrees, Shane Bieber, Ross Detweiler, Kyle Gibson, Kyle Hendricks, John Lester, Lance Lynn, Chris Paddock, Garrett Richards, Mike Soroka, Ryan Yarbrough, and Jacob deGrom. That's impressive. That's a hefty number, and that's just going to be one of those things that we're going to follow this season. There's going to be a lot of low ERAs this year. And then leading all the strikeouts, top 3 is really close, but number 1, it is Shane Bieber of the Cleveland Indians, who had a 14 strikeout game. Such a big game from Shane Bieber. But
who was it against?
I don't remember who was it against.
Oh,
was it against the Royals?
I'm not sure. Was it?
I actually don't know. I genuinely am sitting here curious because
I think it's a team where Patrick Mahomes is now partial owner of. I don't know which team it is though.
He's owned one as an owner, I think, too.
Must be the Kansas City. Oh, yep, indeed it was.
Shit, there you go. Wow.
Crazy. 14 strikes.
Oh my god.
Okay, I've actually got a meeting in like 10 minutes, so can I just give my 2 players of the week and then leave?
Yes.
Because I actually do have a meeting.
Yes, Ryan.
Okay.
You can, but we want to see your face.
No, I'm tired of y'all. Okay?
Goodness.
I've had it with you. Okay?
Who's your pitcher of the week?
Kyle Hendricks. He looked really good opening night for the Cubs. Went 9 innings, complete game, looked terrific. Had 9 strikeouts, I believe. That's definitely my pitcher of the week. If I could not get Shane Bieber, who dominated the Royals. Yeah, okay. We're just going to move on from that. Okay, Nick, you know what?
What?
You know what? Let's raise our bet. $100.
Oh my goodness! Can we do this off camera, please?
Okay,
let's do this off camera. We'll do it off camera.
And then my hitter of the week. That one was tough for me. As badly as I want to say Whit Merrifield because he's been terrific. Is second in the league in RBIs. Has hit 2 home runs. I'm going to go Stanton because he was just hitting bombs in Nationals Park. He was looking really good. Yeah, I want to say Whitman. I want to say Whit, okay? Well, he said Bieber. That's why. Okay? But
I love being the one not. See now, Ryan, you understand how I feel. You understand how I feel, Ryan, when everyone gangs up on me. See?
Well, that's because you said the Mets are going to win the World Series over the Dodgers.
You also say that the Royals are going to be good this year.
I said the Royals. I know. I said the Royals will have at least 25 wins. I put a bet in on it.
It's not going to happen, Ryan.
I'll bet you on it right now.
Ryan has a betting prediction.
Okay.
Oh my.
Okay. You know what? Screw it. Okay. My hitter of the week is Merrifield. Merrifield has been on a tear.
No.
You can't talk. He has 4 hits in 2 games against your team, Nick, so shut up. Including 2 home runs.
You're biased.
So, second in the league in RBIs, 368 average. He has not missed a step. With how bad the Royals hitting has been, besides from Monday night, Whit has gotten a hit in every game and has been the guy who has been able to actually get on base. So you can say what you want. Whit Merrifield has been a terrific hitter, has been terrific since the start of the season. Say what you want, Nick. I don't care about your opinion.
Okay. I'm going to go by the stats because that's what a logical person would do, not biased. I'm going to say Nelson Cruz is my hitter of the week. Just out there just because, I don't know, he's had a better week than Whit Merrifield has.
Do you want me to read off?
You said you wanted Nelson Cruz, so I did not say Nelson Cruz on purpose.
Others people.
I'm not saying the same person twice.
Why?
Okay?
Why?
Okay? That's just my thing. I will not do it because I don't want to be told, oh, you stole this person. Okay? No.
Oh, my.
You're too much.
This has been Ryan Marco's just sitting there. He's like, oh, this is a good one. Yeah, looking at the stat line, I mean, Nelson Cruz in 17 at-bats, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, batting .412 with a .444 on-base percentage, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, slugging over 1,000. This guy is – bye, Ryan. We'll see you next week. We do love you, Ryan. I hope you know that.
If I show up. Actually, I'm the most consistent person on the show, so I'll be here. Okay, says the one who missed the recording, and I tried to call you 8 times.
I've
8
always
times.
been here.
I have not missed one.
Neither have I.
Not one.
I can't wait till we get on the air. I can't wait till we get on the air. He just left. He left. He just left. Oh, I can't wait till we get on the air, and we're gonna have to sort out our problems. Oh, this is gonna be exciting. So. I'm sorry. I thought you were playing the podcast. I was confused. I was wondering. I was like, "Oh, are you
Not
listening
bad.
to Ryan yell at us?" But yeah. So for player of the week, I mean Nelson Cruz. There's no question about it. I'm gonna have to change that to hitter of the week, Nick. You're right. That is gonna become hitter of the week from now on, because overall player of the week would probably still be Nelson Cruz, but we want to make sure that we're being honest.
Pitchers are players too.
Yes, exactly. Pitchers are players too. So then we move on to the line of, for the pitchers, Nick will do your pitcher of the week after, obviously. But I went for Kyle Hendricks as well. I think that he is your guy here. I mean, he's such a good player. He had such a great game on opening day. He was able to go out there and get 9 strikeouts in a complete game. Only guy to throw a complete game this year. So you can't really deny that that's just a great start. That's in 1 week. It's only been 5 days of the season. So next week we'll have some people that have 2 starts, some relievers that get a lot of innings. But most times you're just going to see a starting pitcher out there who either gets 1 amazing game or gets 2 really good games. So Kyle Hendricks, for me, just the beginning of this season, had a great game. But Nick, we'll do your pitcher, and then Marco will head on to your player and pitcher, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. It's Kyle Hendricks. Like you said, the only guy that threw a complete game this year. You could argue Shane Bieber, but just because of the strikeouts and because he dominated the Royals. But no, it's Kyle Hendricks, the only guy that threw a complete game this year. Has he given up a run yet? Did he give up a run that game?
No, he did not. No.
Yeah, so he pitches tonight, actually, so we'll see if that streak comes to an end, but I don't see it really. I can see him going a solid 6 innings. I don't think he'll go past that because they used him for all 9 innings last time. And for some reason, not for some reason, but this season we're seeing pitchers being on a short leash. They give up 1 run, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So in Hendricks' case, he doesn't seem to be on that short leash at all. So yeah, my pitcher of the week is Kyle Hendricks.
It helps that he only throws like 88 miles an hour. He's not really straining his arm all too much. But he's more of
really messes with that messes with a lot of hitters' timing, because a lot of hitters, they're expecting like 90+ mile per hour fastballs, but his fastball is like around 88. So that really changes their timing. But my pitcher of the week, even though it's pretty darn obvious, I gotta go with Bieber from the Indians. The guy struck out 14 batters in 6 innings.
Yeah.
In 6 innings. 14 Ks barely happens in 9 innings. Imagine would say the whole entire game. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for that 20 strikeout record. So I really got to go with Shane Bieber. And my hitter of the week, you got to go with Nelson Cruz. It's the obvious pick in my opinion. Yes, we have other players who are they're hitting everything right now, but Nelson Cruz, 10 RBIs in just 5 games, and like you said, Michael, on track for 100 RBIs in a 60-game season. That's impressive. Over 100. There you go. That's impressive. I gotta go with Nelson Cruz and Bieber from obviously the Indians. Yeah, and Nelson Cruz for the Twins. It's because they're the same color. It got me mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. I always used to mix the two up. I used to always think that Joe Mauer was on the Indians. It's really funny.
Really?
I when I was younger and I used to watch.
It's the color of the logos and the uniform.
Exactly. They're the exact same thing, basically. So I genuinely used to think I would confuse what team Justin Morneau was on, what team Joe Mauer was on. It was very funny. For a long time, I thought that I still sometimes think that Sabathia started his career as a Twin and was a Twin for the majority of his career.
That can get confusing.
Yeah, so that especially because at that time the Indians were literally blue and red. So
Right.
that, but that that's just that's normal. We're gonna make mistakes, but that's gonna do it for today's episode. Such a strange episode,
We were
but
doing so good. It was
we were doing great. We were doing so well. I mean, it's just that the opinions and then the the Ryan's extra comments, but
It's
okay.
gonna be interesting next week. Let's see how next week will be a little more interesting because standings are maybe gonna be the way they should be.
Right.
So that'll be interesting.
Yes, exactly.
We have baseball starting in about an hour. I'm pumped.
Yeah, there might.
On that note, I gotta go. I gotta watch baseball. I gotta go.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, baseball, gotta go. Bye, see ya. There's no baseball games on right now. Rockies Athletics are at 12:40 for all of our times. So that's gonna be first game of the day today. I'm excited. Mets got Jacob deGrom on the hill. It's gonna be an exciting week of baseball. I don't know when we'll be back. Probably I'm gonna shoot for next Friday because, like I said, I can't do Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So maybe next Friday earlier in the morning, we can get a podcast out just like we did today. That would be my goal, if possible. What'd you say?
Earlier in the morning?
No, like 9 or 10. Not
Okay.
not super early. But we're going to enjoy this next week of baseball. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more we're going to have a little bit of a better idea next week as to what we're going to be expecting for the year. But right now, baseball has started, baseball is going, and baseball is going good. Obviously, it's just been an exciting season. It's exciting to have baseball back. We're going to try and shorten the podcast up a little bit down to maybe around an hour because we do have to get ready for being on Blaze in about a month from now whenever we do get back to being on Blaze, if we get back to being on Blaze. But I'm excited. It's going to be a really fun time. We've got a lot of big things coming up for baseball. And any final words before we head off, guys?
Just enjoy some baseball the rest of the week. And whenever we see you, I'm sure we'll text about the games and such.
Oh,
but yeah, until next time, we'll see a better standings update, and we'll see some more baseball. I'm excited.
Marco's showing off his new mask.
Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Please.
Please.
It doesn't hurt. It's a piece
baseball.
of fabric.
So we can watch baseball. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna make an impromptu mask right here. Hold on.
I got you.
Wait. There we go. Oh wait, hold on. It's not really working too well. Nick's just out here. He's like, yep. Perfect. Oh yeah.
He's like, might as well.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Nick.
Oh yeah.
That's way to rock it. I do have more masks over there for work, but they're back there, and I'm not gonna get up and grab them. But thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you all tuning in. We did have a maximum of 4 viewers today, so that was a pretty good one. That's the most we've ever had live on a live stream right now. So I appreciate everyone who came in to watch today. Marco's still advertising, but thank you everyone for coming on in. We will see you guys all next week. Take care, guys.
Adios.
Oh, he actually left.
Yeah, he messed up. Michael, you didn't end the stream. Just letting you know.
Didn't end the stream. I'm back.